Kratom was made illegal in the 1940s because at the time, you have to understand that the Thai government still had legal drugs like opium and heroin were being sold in pharmacies, and that represented a significant revenue for the state. Some estimates range between 8 and 20% of the national revenue was generated off the sales of legal opium through government outlets. So when people started using Kratom, it meant a significant loss of revenue for the government. So they made Kratom illegal in 1942 to protect the opium market, essentially. And drugs stayed legal in Thailand for a long, long time. It wasn't until 1959 that they made opium and heroin illegal, and then other drugs followed suit in the following 10 years. So by 1959, Thailand had essentially caught up to the rest of the world in terms of adhering to, let's say, the international drug control conventions that are shepherded, let's say, by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. So the kind of international framework that makes all drugs illegal. At that stage, Kratom was still illegal, but it wasn't enforced because now that heroin and opium had become illegal, there was no more reason to police Kratom. It wasn't until 2003 or thereabouts when the Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra declared a bloody war on drugs that led to the extrajudicial killing of over 2,000 people suspected of being involved in the drug trade, which were mostly petty users and small-time dealers that were extrajudicially assassinated by police forces across the country. At that point, then the police restarted focusing arrests on Kratom, and a number of arrests increased gradually and radically over the next 15 years. Throughout that period, so since the early 2000s up until recently, there were several attempts to decriminalize Kratom because many communities in Thailand are indeed using Kratom, and they've been using Kratom since the earliest that I was able to find was in 1650s, that people have been using Kratom without much problems for traditional purposes and for medicinal purposes. So the different proposals went in different directions, proposing to alleviate some of the laws, decriminalize, legalize, promote for market for export, for local use, for medicinal use. And none of that really worked up until recently, as you pointed out. It's just in the past few months that Kratom has been decriminalized in Thailand, so it's not entirely legal, but it has been decriminalized to the point where we have a big superstore, grocery store chain here called Big C. And now Kratom is available at Big C in the produce section.
Wow.
So you can buy 5 leaves for 75 baht, which is the equivalent of about $2.50 in the US. So 5 leaves, $2.50, fresh leaves. Mind you, not sure to what extent the alkaloids, what the supply chain is like. So whether the alkaloids have survived the trip to the grocery store shelves is not clear. But it is available for public consumption with virtually no regulation. Although, from what I understand, that wasn't the original intent. The original intent of the decriminalization was really to join the bandwagon where they can produce and export Kratom to get in on the gravy train and make some money out of this.